Workout. Good afternoon. You're on the hotline.
This whole General Brown issue, I got to tell you, I'd rather give my kids a piggyback ride to go to General Brown than walk them across the street to any Watertown school.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think Mr. Biglabby just has an honest concern for the kids' safety and their academic achievements. I mean, you can't really compare the two schools with the amount of violence in Watertown compared to General Brown.
Wasn't there a kid arrested? They have to have a trooper at General Brown. They must have concerns about violence.
Right, because they had one incident and they took action. You had a kid that got stabbed by a soldier not too long ago on Watertown property. You had girls get slashed by a box cutter.
Right.
Kids that are banned from stores across the street because they steal. Kids can leave General Brown and walk right down to the Big M and take their backpacks. Not banned.
Yeah, you know, I always, I understand that. I understand people have pride for their hometown school. And certainly General Brown has always had a reputation for being a school with some discipline and academic standards and so on. But
it's unfair to go and shoot that around about the state trooper because they had one incident and they took action. Watertown should take action because they have tons of problems.
Yeah, and I know the district is working out an arrangement for what they call a resource officer to be in the schools to try to get a handle on some of those activities.
Die first?
Huh?
Do we have to die in Watertown first or what? I mean, this has been going on for years there.
Mm-hmm.
General Brown has one incident and they take action.
Yeah, I understand that. I also understand that that's really the job. You know, that's the school district, and I'm not here to speak for Mr. Freilich or the school board, but they are in the process of trying to set up whatever organizational structure they need to do that, and whether it's being done before or after another district, the fact is it's being done. So I applaud them.
I don't have any parents complaining that their kids have to ride a bus to go to General Brown other than go to Watertown. And this is going to be mostly city officials and the school officials that are complaining. Because everybody looks to send their kids to General Brown if possible.
Right. Well, I think you can send your kids wherever you want if you want to pay the tuition, right? Isn't there...
I mean, and General Brown's never been on the academic underachievement list where Watertown has a school on here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I understand.
I mean, you gotta kind of look at the whole picture. I mean, people can cry over the money, but they need to get that school up to standards, and that's from JCC to Notre Dame.
Right. Now, do you live in the city or out in the...
Oh, actually, I live in the town of Watertown.
Oh, okay. So do you have kids?
Oh, I sure do.
What school do you send them to?
General Brown.
Oh, okay. I didn't...
I made that decision to buy a house in that district because I went to school there, and I know what type of school it is.
Sure.
Community, and people watch out for themselves.
Yeah.
Watch out for others.
Yeah. Well, I think...
and they've got a full team. They have to turn kids away every year.
Sure. I think the issue is... and I've had some other people who've brought this up to me too, relating to other district boundaries, nothing to do with the city of Watertown. I think sometimes we live and die in this area on, creating boundaries between this person and that person, and the people on this side of the line are somehow nicer than that side of the line, and I mean, really in New York we have pretty much a unified education system. There's a uniform set of standards, there's mandates that control all of this, and I'm just wondering, do we really need all of the 700-plus layers of management that these school districts provide when really the goal is to try to have a uniform education system in New York? Now,
but you don't. But if you gave everybody a choice of where they wanted to go to school, what do you think would fit if they wanted their kids to go to Watertown?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think what I'm pointing out is you may be pointing out some valid concerns over the climate in a school or the academic standards. I'm looking at a logistical situation. Is it, what's the point of having kids spend hours on buses every day when they can have neighborhood schools?
Risk of getting punched. A kid getting punched by an 18-year-old or getting slashed with a box cutter. I'll leave my kids on the bus for a while.
Yeah.
But they can at least get home in one piece.
Yeah. Well, you're certainly entitled to your opinion, and that's why you were able to come on these airwaves and express them.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. 755-1240. My school district's better than your school district. Is it? I don't know. Is a high school better than IHC or vice versa? Rivalries are nice, but I sometimes think, we do a lot of that. We do a lot of that in society. If you go down to the Congress, they're not people in Congress. You live on one side of an aisle or the other. You're a Republican or a Democrat. And you're either a freedom fighter or you're an evildoer in world politics. And there's so much of that. We always try to divide people. I'm merely suggesting that logistics in life are important, and I think it's better for people. And I always had the privilege of going to schools that were nearby and so on. I think it's a good thing where possible. I mean, if you choose to live out at the end of the East Jesus Road, I mean, you're not going to escape bus trips. But those who tend to live in a more populated area, I think, do so in part because they are hoping to find neighborhood schools, and unfortunately, you can't find that. Good afternoon, Hotline.